All right, this is the February 17th, Wednesday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. We're going to talk about some very nice weather really to wrap up the remainder of the week. The weekend looks great, and then a big ticket storm system trying to organize on the modeling as you get into next week. I've been hinting about that possibility for a little while now, and you're seeing, although there's some disagreement with the specifics, there's certainly a pretty good consensus that there will be a pretty good storm system affecting the eastern part of the country in the early to mid stages of next work week. So I'll get into all that here as the latest edition of the video rolls along. A little earlier than normal this morning. That is a 4 a.m. hour look from the Greensboro Tower camera perspective. Your temperature is 40 there in Greensboro. Yesterday, a much milder day. It was a nice chance to thaw everything out, to dry everything out before more showers rolled in yesterday evening. 54 the high in Greensboro, 60 in Raleigh, 65 yesterday in Columbia. 50s for most of the Triad area yesterday afternoon. Again, a good chance to melt away that ice that was on a lot of the area trees and roadways and whatnot to start yesterday. Charlotte area, mid to upper 50s, even 60 yesterday in Wadesboro. Currently, again, 4 o'clock hour, 30s and 40s out there. Temperatures much more uniform this morning than when we had that eroding wedge in place at this time yesterday. So we do have a few showers out there rolling through parts of the Carolinas. This is what's left of that little system that's been moving through. Brought some decent rains briefly to parts of the region yesterday evening and last night, but that's departing. And this time around, there's no new storm systems heading our way for a few days. So I think our next chance precipitation not arriving until Monday at the earliest. So pretty nice stretch of weather ahead. Big area of high pressure, very slowly making its way from the Midwest to the Great Lakes in the Northeast, and then down the eastern seaboard over the next several days. There's your highs this afternoon, looking pretty good. Tomorrow, there you go. Upper 40s in the Triad, mid 50s around Charlotte. Should be a good amount of sunshine rather for your Thursday. And then we get on into Friday, high pressure building down the eastern seaboard. So again, maybe a somewhat cool day, but temperatures actually very close to average for this time of year. Not too bad at all. The weekend looks very nice. I'll show you some of the more detailed modeling on all this coming up in just a moment, but there's your high pressure shifting south of us. That allows a southwesterly flow to get established, resulting in those milder weekend temperatures. I think we're well into the 60s for high Saturday, even a little bit warmer on Sunday. So here we go with your Saturday numbers. And then there's a pretty good chance some folks in the region clip 70 on Sunday afternoon. And then we get to the next week time period. Here's the European computer model solution of the latest operational run. Big low pressure that slowly moves from the Gulf Monday to the Carolina coast Wednesday. There's all sorts of different possibilities with this storm system. So let me take you through some of the more detailed modeling here. Let's start off with what happens upstairs, aloft, with this system. We'll go with the European model here. This is going to be valid Tuesday. And what you have here on this latest deterministic run of the European is a big piece of energy diving down the backside of this trough, and that cuts this upper level low off over the deep south in the Tennessee Valley. That's Wednesday. And then you go out to Thursday, and that upper level low is sitting over the North Carolina. All right, on the GFS model, 0Z run, it's not as amplified overall, but it's still a big system, and it's not as slow as what happens on the European. So let's go back to the European model. All right, so this is the surface chart for Tuesday evening. There's your low pressure along the Gulf Coast. 12 hours later, there's your low really strengthening along the Georgia and the South Carolina coast. So again, let's go back here. All right, that's the operational run. Let's compare it with the ensemble mean. There's your surface reflection, although at this range, as you might expect, the system not as intense on the ensemble mean. That would be expected at the day 7-ish range. Again, there's the chart for Wednesday morning off the operational run. Ensemble mean, weaker and slightly southeast. That's what you would expect at this range. Now onto the GFS computer model. Let's look right here. There's your GFS solution valid Tuesday evening. And then that system, by the time you get to, let's see, did I put the, yeah, there's the, I didn't put the GFS ensemble mean, I guess. No, I didn't. All right, so let's go back. There's the operational run of the GFS. and then it moves right up into central North Carolina, but the ensemble mean of the GFS as well is further off to the southeast. So let me show you what that means on the surface charts. Let's go with the GFS first here. All right, so this is valid Tuesday morning, cold air damming showing up. That's a very chilly rain on the GFS. That's continued soaking rains Tuesday as you head into the evening. As the system pulls away, mountain snow kicks into gear. You see a few flakes try to fly on the Piedmont, but that's predominantly a rain-producing system if you take the GFS model exactly as it is printed out. The Canadian model, much weaker and off to the southeast with this. It is not having that intense solution that a lot of the other modeling has right now, so I don't think you can put a lot of stock in that one at the moment. All right, let's go to the European model, and this is what it shows there at the surface. There's your low pressure in Florida and Georgia. That's chilly rain in much of North Carolina. Then you get out to Wednesday evening. There's where you get more and more snow involved on the backside of this as the low pressure pulls away. And then there it goes, still spitting out some snow showers and snow flurries Thursday evening due to the big upper level low overhead. In case you're wondering, the JMA, the Japanese computer model, there is its representation of the system moving right up through central North and South Carolina. So before I wrap up the video, I'll show you one more chart, but I think this is the bottom line. This is the idea here. It's like a pretty big ticket storm system. It could produce some winter weather across parts of the Carolinas. I think especially favored would be the western sections of North and South Carolina. But that is a long way off, and this could very well wind up trending well north and just wind up being a rain event. That's certainly quite possible, and a lot of the modeling is showing just that right now. But this is also a possibility, too. The more suppressed southeast solution, like you see on the European, and this is what the folks at the WPC, their hand-drawn chart looks like for Wednesday morning, and they have a European-ish looking solution there. And if that's right, then you get some snow in the western Carolinas with the dynamics involved. So, that's kind of what I'm watching. That's the next system down the road. And before I wrap up the video, last thing I'll show you, if you want long-term ideas, there's that Canadian ensemble, which has had a great winter. Big ridge developing in the western parts of North America as you get into the middle parts of next week. And then all the way out to the end of the run, you still have a lot of ridging in western Canada. Some funny games going on underneath. And if you look at 850 millibar temperatures, there's a pretty cold indication there toward the end of next week, around the 26th or so of February. And still all the way out to the end of the run. That's certainly not an overly warm look as you get out to the 2nd and 3rd of March. So we're not done with cold weather by any stretch of the imagination. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.